I recently made a video on the map function in Excel and a lot of you loved it. But when I tried to use map in a real-world sales data analysis, it broke. In this video, I'll show you exactly where map fails and what to use instead. If you haven't seen my map video, map basically lets you apply a logic to each item in a range without dragging formulas. So naturally, I tried to use it for something more advanced. Let's say we have these sales reps and their performance data. I want to calculate a composite performance score based on sales versus target, consistency, and regional comparison. So let's write the map function. Map. I will select the range A2 to A11, which are all the employee IDs. Start writing the logic using lambda. We will map the range to rep ID, or short for sales representative employee ID. Let rep row match the rep ID with the range A2 to A11. Exact match. This will return numbers 1 to 10 row by row. Define the next variable, quarters. This variable will have quarterly sales for each salesperson. Index. B2 to 11 is the range. The rows are rep row and an array for columns. 1, 2, 3 and 4 separated by semicolon in a pair of braces. I will capture the target sales for each rep in a variable target using the index function. Next, we will create a variable region to capture all the regions. Let's calculate the total sales. This is a simple sum of quarters or quarterly sales. Target percentage, this will be the total sales divided by the target. Now let's do the key sales analysis. We will first calculate the consistency score. Let's call it growth consistency. I will write the formula 1 minus standard deviation over average. It's a fairly standard way to measure consistency. Next, we will calculate the regional averages. We will use a simple average if here. Now let's find out the regional performance. Let's give ourselves some more space. We've got everything we need to calculate the sales composite score. This is 40% of target percentage plus 30% weightage for growth consistency and another 30 for regional performance. Let's return the composite score. Close the bracket for let, lambda and map. And this gives us the final composite score for each rep. Now here's where things get interesting. What if I don't just want the final score, but I want all the intermediate values too? Growth consistency, regional average, regional performance, and the final composite score. Logically, we should just wrap everything in HStack. Let's try that. But this gives us an error. The map function doesn't return multiple columns like this. It expects one result per item and therefore will not aggregate columns. So if map can't do this, what can? This is where MAKEARRAY comes in. MAKEARRAY works differently. Instead of looping through values, it builds a table row by row, then column by column. Let me first undo the result. I'm going to write MAKEARRAY. We define the number of rows, which is 10 in this case, then the number of column, which is 4. Then for each row and column, we calculate the same logic as before. There are a few minor changes and let's make those. We will start with lambda and accept the values 10 and 4 in two variables, row and col. And now I will paste the rest of the formula from the map function. We don't need the rep row in this formula, so I'm going to delete it. And in quarters, target and region, I will rename the rep row to just the variable row. Now if I press enter, the formula displays the composite score for all the 4 columns. Let's fix this. We will use choose to decide what goes in each column. For index, I will use the col variable, which will have values 1 to 4, and then write the names of the values that I want to display. Growth consistency, regional average, regional performance, and composite score. Now we get everything in a clean, structured and a scalable way. So here's the key takeaway. Map is great for transforming values but not for building tables. If you want to build tables, then you need MAKEARRAY. So that's it for this video. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. And if you'd like to learn more about Excel and Power BI, consider subscribing our channel, Analytics Success. Thanks for watching.